So today is the 21st of November 2025. For me, it has been a very up and down year, humbling year. I had a lot of goals set for this year, but I haven't achieved. And that's because a lot of things happened that I didn't think would happen. Before this year started, and at the start of this year, I had the personal brand going where I was helping people with addiction. But even then, I didn't really know exactly what I was doing with it. I put a lot of stress on myself as I was documenting my own sobriety. Had thousands of people watching me do it, while I still weren't sure what I was even doing. You know, we can say that I was acting like I knew what I was doing, but you don't always know exactly what you're doing, you know. I helped a lot of people. You know, I had several messages of people saying how much I'd helped them. I was helping more people than I was helping myself. I wasn't employed. The only way I was making money was actually from that personal brand, and that was very on and off. My sleep schedule was ruined. I was never sleeping properly. Then I had a good phase. Well, I say good, I was doing about 2K a month at one point. But even then, it just weren't going as much, getting where I expected it to go. Then I ended up just having a lot happen, creating my own problems. And of course I ended up relapsing. Long story short, I'm now not doing that anymore. I've paused it. I may pick it up again, may not. Then, so I went Poland, was there for about 5-6 weeks with my friend. Then I went to France for a while, about 3 weeks, working with my brothers. Then I come back, and about 4 weeks after, we soon after found out that my mum was getting ill, and that she had liver and spleen cancer. At first we didn't think it was too serious, but then we figured out that it was stage 4. Then 2 weeks after, she passed away. So that was just a massive change in direction for me. I thought I was doing quite well, even though I was a bit up and down. I relapsed, and then just after I relapsed, my mum passed away. So after that, I just ended up continuing. For weed, main thing, you know. Coke, not so much. It was mainly just all that other stuff, just weed and coke, and then, you know, I had a few things after it happened, but I made sure to not let myself get too carried away on it. It was mainly just weed and mushrooms for a while. But then, say, for about 3 months, I carried on just smoking. Kept telling myself, like, you got to do this soon. Then, say, it wasn't until about 5-6 weeks ago now, where I just said, look, I'm not doing this anymore. Well, actually, hang on. I got a job. So I've been working a job for it's going to be about 3 months. It's about 2 months, 2 and a bit. Not where I want to be, but I understand that it's helping me. It's helped my sleep schedule, because of course I've got to go to sleep and wake up at a certain time. I didn't have that with my personal brand, because I was basically unemployed, still earning a bit of money to get by, but I didn't have anything making me have a set schedule. It was all on me. So this job is helping me. You know, I'm not one of these people that plan to work a job with like all their life or even for that long. But it's serving the purpose that I need it to serve. And yeah, so for about 5-6 weeks now, I've been sober from everything, just smoking cigarettes, you know, and a bit of caffeine, nicotine and caffeine. You know, that helps a lot. But yeah, you know, the main thing that's been helping me is God. You know, the big man up there. He's been helping me a lot. God bless. And yeah, honestly, I always had the intentions to quit, and to never go back many times, but I just always would go back. Always, you know, I could go without it, or I'd struggle at certain points, but then I'd end up going back to it, and I would always be at that same point where it just feels like I'm just restarting every time. And now I'm at this point where with this, I'm just focusing on that daily relationship with God, with Jesus, the Lord. And it's been helping me a lot, you know. I've been connected with other people which has, with other people which has similar things to where they've done drugs and then they've quit, gone to God, and they just never went back again. So it's just one of those where I just genuinely think it's going to help me, you know. In my surroundings, I don't have too much religious people, apart from my dad, my father, and everyone else in my family. They're not really religious, you know. The way they see it is they'd just rather just try to focus on their life. But for me, it's just like, I've always believed in it, and I just knew that I can quit these things, but not going back to them. I needed some help, needed some guidance, and I'm not going to therapy. You know, I don't believe in therapy. I don't believe in going to some other person who has their own problems, who just want to, you know, profit off you in some way, for help, you know. And that is quite, it's, me saying that now is also quite a thing where I was trying to be one of those people, trying to be a addiction mentor, and then there's me who won't even go do that. So it's just, you know, it's a bit hypocritical. That's also just a realisation I've just made. So yeah, maybe that wasn't my path, but I'm on this path where I'm going to keep learning each day. I'm going to be improving as a person every time. And now I'm doing this video just so I can get back into that momentum, because yes, I'm working a job, but I'd say that only does so much, you know. Yeah, you're keeping busy for 8 hours, getting a bit of money, but what's that really doing? Because I just feel like that's just going to keep me standstill if I don't try to work on something outside of that. And of course, personal branding is always going to be that thing I just go to. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And I'm just going to go personal with it, because then I can, in a way, use this and God as my therapy, you know. It's a well-known thing that talking helps your mind. So I'll just talk to myself. Maybe some people will listen. At the moment, I probably doubt it. But it's just going to be one of those things where I'm just going to do it, you know. One thing about me is I'm a very dedicated person, but I'll say I'll do something, and then I just don't do it, and then that just sort of eats you up. It's like everyone, you know. You got to just do those things, and I'm just understanding that again, you know. I've had a few times where I'll go really into something, and then I'll just like have something that happens, and it's like I just restart. Now I'm just at that point where I just got to start doing, you know, start taking action, and just don't give up. But it's about 5.5, 6 months now since my mother died, June 2nd, and you know, been working a job for about 2.5. Before then, had a bit of a, you know, bit of a thing happen with all the drugs in it. But I'm at that point now where I just want to just do what I said I was going to do, get my life in order, become successful, because that's really all I want. I just want to be someone I've said I'm going to be. And I just want to be that person, because otherwise I'll just have a life of regret, and what good is that? You know, I'm not becoming that person that I knew I could be if I just did the things instead of just sitting there doing nothing. So yeah, this is a video, probably a video of many. Yeah, I mean, from people I've spoke to, I've heard long form is one of the best things to do. It's a little joke, like apparently long form, you get, once you start doing long form content, we start making more money. So let's hope this happens, yeah? I'll start doing more long form content, and let's hope I start making more money, making more moves, making more action, you know? But 12-minute video, didn't want to make it this long, but it's just how it went. So don't think anyone really watch this video, but I'm just going to post it on YouTube anyway. But yeah.